Good day. Let's see who's up and early, up and at 'em early. Hello, William. Hello, CJ. Um, and hello to all those others who will be coming on. Today is Friday, the 16th of May, 2025. And today, let's move up a little bit closer. We like to do our 24-hour fast. So we stopped last evening after a little bit of ice cream. We went out and had some ice cream. Boy, those ice cream shops are busy people, aren't they? Well, at least up here they are. There's only a couple in town. And it seemed like everybody went out last night for ice cream before their fast. So we're going to have Mass again, and I'm going to give you an update on the process that I'm going through with the motorhome debacle, scam, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of lessons in this for me, for sure. And also, I'm not gonna tell you, but we've got some important information to tell you about parasites that Sister Jeannie shared with me late last night, and I want to get your input on ideas as well for it. So please wait till the end, and so we can hear about that. All right, let's get started with the Good Day Rising prayers. In nomine Dei, matronam nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Trinity, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that thou art here present. Venerate thee with the deepest humility. Render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. Most Holy Trinity, I firmly believe that thou art one Divine Family. Dea matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum matronam nostrae. O most Holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O Most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Most Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O Most Holy Trinity, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea matronam nostrae, Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O Most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by Saint Lucia as the most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend thee, O most holy Trinity, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei. Oremus. O most holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulos tuos offeditibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro inuminibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligencies meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed et pro omnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis, ut mihi eridis proficiat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dignitatem mirabilitur condidissit mirabilis reformasti da nobis, peduus atque divini mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortis, criminitatis nostrae fiat natus particeps, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et reinat, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum deprecantes clementiam, ut in conspectu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra et totius mundus salute, cum adore suavitatis escendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contritus suscipiam te Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum et conspectu tuo hodie, ut placiat tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni Sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite blata prosequendo, et accapere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas concoblationum cum tibi afferimus ad memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostra et Papa Peter Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium sanctorum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere in interim caelis, quorum amorem agimus in telis per in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut meum equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum ubiscum, quoque apotei, sursum corda habemus a Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te ecito clementissime Mater et Pater et Deum Mater nostra, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostra, et supplices rogamus et petimus. Uti accepta habeas, et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium ilibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore, et regere lineris tot orbiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famalorum famalorum creatuorum. And we pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie, Gage, RM, Johan Santman, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Moes, Robert Dasco Sr., Jr., and Rochelle Dasco, Letitia, Mindy, Clarette, Mark Jr., Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Greg Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, the Cantu and Duarte families, Luis Antonio Cantu, Michaela McLarnon and family, Sarah and Becky, Jenna and Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Shorten, Kendrick, Cahill, Dosco, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf, and Kane families and all their intentions. We pray that Mr. Nobody receives the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantes Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as the leaders of this Catholic society. Bring it to fruition. We ask Deum Matronum Nostra et Deum Crucem et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. With this Mass and our rosaries, please force the world to make the Jews the sole focus of their anger. Please free us Catholics from all financial enslavement to these Jews. Please leave the Jews in Israel unprotected by any government or governmental entities. Please also nullify any curses that they have placed on our food or on our products, that they cease to have any effect on us anymore. We ask for the reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity, that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations, and that they come to understand that raising traditional Catholic families is a very high ideal and necessity for sustaining a Catholic society. We ask for the conversion of sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We pray for wisdom on how to sow foods, seeds, naturally, for good health and consumption, to raise natural animals without injections, without deformities, with good, clean water. And we pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes. We pray that all people come to their senses in government and remove any definitions or references to anti-Semitism from all law, codes, statutes, etc. We ask you to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law, that is the Jewish Talmud, which is evil. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican, recognize the transfer of the authority of the Catholic Church to be in Fatima, Portugal. We ask you to destroy all forms of Freemasonry and its tentacles, and bring the members into the submission of the Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. And please save or transfer the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason, especially those that give support to Israel. We ask the Catholic families bring back Catholic morals and values and virtues, teach virtuous acts, and for women to stop getting cosmetic surgeries, and for men and women to stop feeding their money, energy, attention, and time to sports, celebrities, worldly entertainment, worldly vices, and to focus their attention and time to raising Catholic families for the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany and to save and free the souls of Catholics from the heresies of the Jews, that we all work together for that aim. All this we ask in accordance with the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany's divine will and intention. Et omnium circumstantiam coram tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi efferimus verque tibi efferunt hoc sacrificium laudis prosis visque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum prospe salutis et calamitatis suae, tibi credunt vota sua aeterna Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memoria venerantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis praecibusque cancedas ut in omnibus protectionis tuae muniamur auxilio periendum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem acceptabilem ca feceli dimiris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat edictissimi Filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam patriator recepet panem in sanctus aquanabulis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecrave, frege didique lumnis sui dicens accipite, et mandacati ex hoc omnis. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremoniae est accipiens et hunc preclarum calicem in sanctus aqua honorabilis manus suas et in tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrave dedique lumnis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, aequo tescum quificeritis in me morum facietis. Unde et memore Deum nostro virtuis et plebs tua sancta iustum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passionis nec non et in fedis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosas ascensionis offerimus, praeclarae maestati tuae, de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno, utur respicieri dineris. Supplices te regamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum iube hic per manus tuum ut quod exaugataris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni sanctificatione caelesti, et gratiae per amor periendum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for August Bentz, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsistem et omnibum in Christum quiscentibum locum refugieri ducis et pacis ut odoro geste proclamor periendum Christum Deum nostrum, perquam hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivibicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso. Est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Sanctam tuum in mulieribus, Dea matronam nostrae materam, Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum abundibus malis, praeteritis praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Deum matronam nostrae. Cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitius pacem mendibus nostris. Ut opia misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et omni perturbatione securi. Pediendum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tegem vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te, haecum ex Deo consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipendibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam mundum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum, tuum abundibus iniquitatibus meis et universis malis, et fac me tue semper inharare mandatis, et numquam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis regnam aeternam. Pet ceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi proveniat, in judicium et condemnationem, sed pro tu pietate prosit mihi, ad tumentum mentis et corporis et ad medelam, percipiendam qui vivis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem celestem excipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sanguineus, ut anticipitatum eis in tante de quae nabere anima mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sanguineus, ut anticipitatum eis in tante de quae nabere anima mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sanguineus, ut anticipitatum eis in tante de quae nabere anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retribuvit mihi, calicem salutaris excipiem in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis abusero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quod arisum sumus Deum Iesum Christum vedimente capermes et immunite brae fiat nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tun dem Jesum Christum kurzum se sanguis computavi heriet scelibus meis apraesta ut in me non remania scelo macula quem pierat sancta ora fecerum sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, most holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote, iti missa est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium corporis tuae maestatis in nos autoritibus et captabile et omnibus, pro quibus idut autoliciti miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam, et Filium, et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O most holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinity, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended. And through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart, and the immaculate heart of God our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, Matronam nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. So this is without notes. Sometimes you can speak about things that you have firsthand knowledge of. So just like in the court system, when you go and you testify or whatever, they ask you from your memory. When you know something that's truthful, it's very easy to recall what you've experienced. Hello, Denise. Hello, Greg. So we're first off where we're at with the. It's been a long process with this motorhome process, and what I'm doing is what's called the administrative process or administrative procedure. And since I'm claiming that they've used the credit that I have that exists, that the straw man has and exists, or I have and exist, that the straw man's a debtor, the all caps name. But my signature that I signed was an open endorsement, and I've learned that we shouldn't use open endorsement signatures when we sign documents, because then they can basically steal from us. So I was, my first notice was a novation, it's called, and that was to correct the signature. And so a novation is a change. And, you know, I made notice of why, that I suspected possible fraud, that they didn't make me aware of. They were going to use my signature in order to collect double the funds. Even though I didn't even get the motorhome or anything like that. I mean, if they were willing to just write everything off and I say write everything off, I mean just accept what they did through the Federal Reserve discount window and collect that funds, I would have been fine with it and we would have walked away. But no, they insisted that I pay double the funds plus interest. So when I sent the first affidavit of novation, they didn't, I gave them 30 days to respond. They sent a form letter with no signature. Now, in order to respond properly, you have to an affidavit, you have to sign it in a wet ink signature. That basically makes it so that you are accepting responsibility for what you're writing, and that you're competent to know what you're writing or talking about. Okay, so they never did that. So I sent a second notice after 30 days, and then a third notice. And in the second notice, or I should say after the second notice, I received a letter from their attorney, their collections attorney, wanting me to now deal through him. And I said, no. I said, we're already working with a new contract, because the novation basically was saying we have a new contract now. And because you didn't respond in wet ink signature, you agreed to this new contract. So I told the attorney, responded in writing, said, no, we have a new contract, and you have to prove the debt anyway. Okay, and he's, of course, because they're ignorant, they really have no idea what's going on, or they do, and they're just playing games. So he sent me this. Again, the attorney sent me a letter back that said that, his proof of the debt and whatnot, and it was just a, copy of my original open endorsement signature. So that was rejected for cause, which I sent back. Now it gets complicated, and I know people don't want to go through all this, but I don't have the funds to pay back something that I didn't get. It's just, and they've already been paid for. So it's principle that I'm doing this. So after, again, the only signatures I got was from the lawyers, which, again, were in reference to the old contract, which was changed. So again, that's why I rejected those. Now we're down to the point where they've received third notice, and in the second notice, I agreed and I changed it to go through arbitration, which is different than going through the court system. You agree to let an attorney or a retired judge or somebody to arbitrate the case for you. And then I learned that arbitration is really well, the banks are paying for them to do their arbitration. So I said, okay, well, these guys are favoring the bank, so I better not do that. So just last week, just yesterday, I think, or the day before, I sent a notice of change that we're not going to arbitrate. We're going to go through the court system. And it would be a superior court because it's over $25,000 was the amount. And so I just gave them 7 days notice to reply or respond to the notice or make a counter offer, etc. And again, they did tell me in one of the form letters that they sent back unsigned that they weren't going to respond to me anymore. I was like, okay, that means you agree to everything that I send you. That's the way it works. They do that to you. Remember, they send you notices, and if you don't respond, then they take you to court, or they take your house, or they take your car. Okay, so they think it only works one way, but no, it works both ways. In any case, so in a week or two, I should be filing the motion for summary judgment, which means that there is no disagreement. There isn't, because they did not sign or respond point by point to any of my notices that I sent. And so the court, when they see all the paperwork and see my motion for summary judgment, should, okay, maybe with Our Lady's help, should just say, okay, well, yeah, there is no argument, and all your paperwork is done and good. You've sent it all certified, and you've given them time to respond, etc., etc. They'll check those things. Those are most important for them. That you did give them, certified mail notice, and that you gave them time to respond, and then they failed. So that's what we're waiting. We're going to do that in a couple of weeks, and I'll let you know how that goes. If the judge rules for a summary judgment, just signs it and orders them to pay, I won't need to ask for donations for a while. We'll see. We'll see what the Most Holy Trinity has in store for that. All right, now to get to the most important thing that Sister Jeannie sent me last night. Somebody apparently had done an experiment with parasites with holy water. Okay, so they took a sample of parasites all wiggling around. They added some holy water to the parasites, and they went crazy. They started to, just wiggle like mad, like, we got to get out of here. But they couldn't go anywhere. And this really gets to my point of them being of demonic nature. And even with the questionable holy water that was used, even if it's just one correct being of the Holy Trinity, that would be effective. So give me your thoughts on that. I have, there's nothing that says that you can't drink holy water. And I think it would be very, very important to do that. And by the way, I see Scott, defend yourself. Yes, I am doing this all pro se, so that means I'm doing it by myself and for myself. So the holy water is a very interesting idea. So I'm going to, and my thought was also that for those who I have sent holy water to, it's been in smaller containers. That's what I have to mail out, and you kind of use it sparingly. But I'm thinking that you can sprinkle some holy water into a big jug of natural spring water, not purchased at the store if you can help it. If you can get it right out of the ground, that you know is good and clean and pure, that's probably the best. And or from a deep well that's on your own property or whatever. Our well here is it's deep and it's in the mountains. I'm very comfortable with the water that we get here. But you can add the holy water to that holy water, and then you can drink it. I recommend that we try that. So I'm going to begin with my son, Ben. William says he has been. Very good. So that's completely, that's awesome. Let me know how it goes. Sorry, I can't. The white on some of this makes me have to come up. Oh, there we go. Use a canteen. Right, that's a good idea. Yep, keep the sun out. And again, it's good to put some good salt, a little bit of pinch of salt in the gallon jug. If you're going to use gallon, if you're going to use a dark, you can use a dark container, dark bottle like this one to keep it in. And the other thing was, my other thought was a little bit of, I don't think you'll need the colloidal silver, but that could be something separate. I would just keep it with the salt and the holy water. All right, so we're gonna try that. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section, and appreciate your chats here right now. That's all I have for today. Monday, it looks like I'm going to go to Connecticut, help my son-in-law out with some work. I probably will not be able to have Mass Monday morning. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get back in time in the evening. So Monday will be a little bit iffy at this point. I'm not sure. But thank you for everything, your donations, especially help with these travelings that I do and with this court stuff. I'm going to have to pay the court in order to make the submission, a few $100s. So, and we'll put some holy water on that at the same time. All right, let's end with this prayer from St. Catherine of Siena. O my Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, please come into my heart. By thy power, O Deum, draw me to thyself, and grant me charity with filial fear. Keep me, O ineffable love, from every evil thought. Warm and kindle me with thy sweetest love, and every suffering will seem light to me. O my Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, please help me in all thoughts, words, and actions. O my Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I love thee. My Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I love thee. In nomine Deum, Matronum Nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Have a great day.